人の話は最後まで聞け.
The second core of the Apothecary Diaries anime season 2, when not focusing on Jinshi's big secret or the romantic tension between him and Maomao, has been all about the female friendships Maomao has established in the rear palace since she became a servant. Episode 38, The Dancing Ghost, left fans on a bit of a cliffhanger after Xiaolan bumped into a eunuch pushing a cart of ice, causing him to lose the ice he was delivering to one of the high consorts as it crashed to the ground. The eunuch furiously exploded in a fit of rage, and Xiaolan, being the sweetest character in the entire anime, ended the episode in tears. As everyone in the rear palace watched the events unfold, it wasn't hard to imagine how embarrassing the situation was for Xiaolan. Not only was she not paying attention to where she was going, but the way the eunuch yelled at her was humiliating. Maomao realizes that Xiaolan wasn't paying attention because she'd gotten a gift from one of the consorts she'd given a massage to. She was admiring the beautiful hairpin and wondering if the consort liked her enough to perhaps offer her work when her contract was up. With all eyes on her, Maomao intervenes with a solution to salvage the ice before it melts. Drawing Xiaolan away from the scene by the hand, she takes her to the quack doctor's clinic after promising the eunuch that she will make something better than ice. While Xiaolan cries, Maomao ponders how best to salvage the ruined ice. Her solution to make an ice treat will require ingredients and a kitchen. As she's trying to figure out how to get her hands on those things, the solution to all of her problems arrives outside the clinic with Gao Shun beside him. Jinshi is grinning like a fool when Maomao steps outside to ask him if he can find her a kitchen to work in. He doesn't understand why she's taking responsibility for solving this problem that has nothing to do with her. She knows he's right. It's not her problem, but as she thinks about how her bond with Xiaolan has grown and changed, she knows she wouldn't forgive herself if she didn't do anything. When she tells him she would lose sleep over it, he actually laughs at her. As he asks what she'll give him in return, she can't fathom what he would possibly want from her. Even as she tells him she has nothing to offer him in return, he thoughtfully teases that he could think of something. His first suggestion is that she let someone who is talking to her finish what they're saying and actually pay attention. But she frustrates him into confessing that's an impossible ask. Trying to think of something else, he leans in close to her, which causes her to shy away, realizing she may have no choice. She can't ask Consort Gyokuyu to help her with something that would benefit another high consort. As she's shaking her head, her hair ribbon unravels and falls out of her hair. Jinshi reaches out and catches it before it falls to the ground. Handing it back to her, he asks why she doesn't wear a hairpin. He even scolds her and points out that the other ladies from the Jade Pavilion are more fashionable and conscious of their appearance. Maomao admits to not having fancy accessories, but he reminds her that he once gave her a hairpin, asking why she doesn't wear that. There's a moment of comedic tension as he gets angry and asks if she sold it. He decides that is the exchange for what she's asking him, her wearing the hair stick. Then he tells her that the day she wears that hair stick is the day he will tell her. Maomao has no idea what he's referring to, but for Jinshi, her wearing his hairpin will be confirmation that he can finally tell her the truth about his identity. As he walks away, promising to get her a kitchen to use, Maomao's left standing there in a bit of a daze. She can pretend she doesn't know what he means, but deep down, it's obvious she knows. In the kitchen, Maomao puts her knowledge to the test as she tries to recreate something she's only ever seen created once: ice cream. She sends for salt, milk, sugar, and fruit, and encourages Xiaolan to help her by stirring the milk and sugar together. While she prepares the icy salt water. Maomao continues stirring the cream and sugar while Xiaolan cuts up the fruit, and the end result is delicious enough to shock even the eunuch waiting to take the treat to the high consort Lulan. As he carries it off in a hurry, Maomao and Xiaolan turn back inside to eat the leftovers, But Shisui arrives and starts teasing Xiaolan after tasting a bite. Laughing, Maomao decides to make more while the two girls chase each other around, play fighting over the ice cream. Later, as Maomao is at the Jade Pavilion playing with Princess Lingli and the kitten, Lady Gyokuyu notices the baby's movement and calls the princess over to feel her belly. As she comments that this baby kicks downward instead of upward, the way Princess Lingli did, Maomao grows concerned and asks if she can feel it. As she asks questions about Gyokuyu's delivery with the princess, Hongniang explains that she delivered the baby herself because the person they brought in at the time grew mysteriously ill. When asking if they would bring someone in again, both Hongniang and Gyokuyu notice Maomao's obvious concern and ask what was wrong. Because of the baby's positioning, Maomao worries it might be a breech birth, which can be dangerous for both the baby and the mother, especially if they have to cut Gyokuyu's belly. After examining her more deeply, Maomao is more than convinced the baby will be breech, and though there are things Gyokuyu could do to encourage the baby to shift positions before delivery, it's still a risk. Having to cut open her belly is a dangerous procedure, and few are even practiced enough to do it successfully. But there is one person she knows.
その人は一度後宮を追放された。
Her adoptive father, Luomen. The problem with Luomen is that, for reasons Maomao has not unearthed fully, her father was expelled from court and branded a criminal during the previous emperor's reign. Hongyang is not about to let a criminal come in to deliver the baby, but Lady Gyokuyu wants to hear Maomao out.
薬師としての死でもあります。野良猫みたいな子がこれだけ懐いてるんだもの。野良猫
In the end, they both agree with her that Luomen, despite whatever past crimes earned him disfavor, is the best option to ensure she delivers the baby safely. Luomen is sent for, and as he arrives back at the palace, he remarks that he never thought he would see the inside of its walls again. As he meets Lady Gyokuyu and her house, everyone is drawn to how calm and quiet he is. He's a respectable person with his wits about him, and after he excuses himself to rest, the other ladies in waiting can't help but remark that they're surprised he is the man who raised Maomao. He seems so normal. Their teasing goes right over Maomao's head at first, but when Lady Gyokuyu starts to giggle, she realizes she doesn't get it.
まあ正確にはお敷地っぽくない？だよね。
The interesting thing about Luomen returning to the rear palace is that both of Maomao's fathers are now in play. Jinshi was just worrying in last week's episode about how they were going to deal with Lacan, but fans already know that Luomen was once the greatest influence in Lacan's life. It's possible that Luomen could be exactly what they need to keep Lacan in check, especially when they bring Maomao in as their greatest ally against the forces that seek to wipe out the Emperor's line once and for all. The Apothecary Diaries. Season 2, Episode 15 had the perfect balance between the dramatic and comical, providing fans with plenty to think about as the season crawls toward its ending. 9 episodes may seem like a lot of time to explore the current plot threads dangling before us, but with so many of them, there will almost certainly be plenty of unanswered questions at the end of the anime's second core. That being said, 9 episodes is also plenty of time to provide closure on some of the mysteries that have been drawing us through what is turning out to be another outstanding season of the best anime of 2025, perhaps even the burst of all time. Spoiler alert for The Apothecary Diaries. Season 2, Episode 16. In Episode 16, the intrigue deepens as Maomao continues to navigate the complex web of palace politics. This episode focuses on a new mystery involving a noblewoman who has fallen ill under suspicious circumstances. Maomao's keen senses and medical knowledge lead her to suspect poison, and she begins piecing together clues hidden in everyday habits and subtle interactions. Meanwhile, Jinshi is becoming increasingly flustered around Maomao, especially as their dynamic continues to shift. There are a few humorous moments that lighten the tension, especially with Maomao's deadpan reactions and Jinshi's internal chaos. The episode ends on a tense note, with Maomao possibly putting herself in danger as she gets closer to uncovering the truth behind the illness, suggesting the next episode will be even more suspenseful.